Hello, ladies in the house. Good day, ladies in the house. My name is Onyekachi Favour, and I'm here today to bring you things I want you to know to get married and married well. Can you imagine a world without ladies? It would be so boring. And I don't want you to miss it in life or in marriage. I want you to be happy. We want to have you around, and we want to have you fulfilled, and not anybody messing around with you, taking you for rituals or things like that. So, quick ones today. There are 10 things I want you to know that will make you to succeed maximally in life and in marriage. Just 10. Now listen to me. Those 10 things are not exhaustive. They are not all you should need to know. But I just want to bring 10 things your way today that will help you to get married and marry well. All right? Number one thing is that marriage is good if you marry well. Marriage is good if you marry well. Don't let anybody deceive you that, don't be afraid. Don't begin to say, well, who knows? And people are not getting married well, marriages are crashing, and so on and so forth. And I will let you know why marriages are crashing, so you can avoid it. All right? So marriage can work. I assure you, marriage can work. And I want you to marry well, and I want your marriage to work. So, depending upon what things you know or you do not know. Like I said in part of my previous editions, when you do not know what you're supposed to do, you are inadvertently programming yourself for failure. When you do not know what you're supposed to know in marriage, you are inadvertently programming yourself for failure in marriage. Marriages that fail do fail before they enter into that marriage. They are programmed. Some are programmed 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years, and it's like a time bomb. When that time comes, it clicks and it explodes. But some married well 50 years, and I want your own to be like that. So what are the things that I want you to know? What are the things that I want you to know before you get married so that it will help you to marry well? Number one, like I told you, I want to share briefly 10 things. Number one is that you must understand your season. You must, as a lady, now I'm talking to you as a lady, you must understand your season. Life is all about times and seasons. If ladies, any lady who does not understand her season will ultimately enter into the realm of desperation, doing anything. And when anybody enters the realm of desperation, men begin to take advantage of you. Men break your heart, and I begin to say it's not worth it. Some have even committed suicide. But I don't wish that for you, and I do not desire that for you. So what do I mean by understanding your season? There is a season when you are everything that is happening. I mean, beauty-wise, attraction-wise. How do I know my season? When is your season? Everybody smiles at you. Everybody likes you. Everybody wants to befriend you. Everybody wants to get close to you. Everybody wants to have something to do with you. You will see somebody who is married with 3 wives. He will want to tell you, I want to marry you. You will see somebody, a teenager, 18, 19, 20 years, you say, Auntie, I want to marry you. You will see everybody just want to marry you. Listen to me. I remember when I was doing my youth service, some 2 young ladies, they were just gisting and they were having the fun of their lives. So one of them said, look, number 18th person approached me. And the other one said, oh, my own is only 12, and I will soon catch up with you. They were reveling in the number of men that approached them for marriage. This is one of the signs to know that this is your season. Any lady who is wise will prayerfully consider one out of this lot and settle down and marry well. And there are things to look out for, which I am going to share with you in the course of this program. Right, let's just tag along. So number one, understand your season. So this one, it helps you, it prevents you, it shields you from entering into the realm of desperation. Number two thing I want you to know is know yourself. Know yourself. When you talk about marriage, for instance, the word marriage is all about bringing in 2 things together. 2 things. Look at this, for instance. You carry this and put it this, it enters, it fits in well. It fits in well. You should know yourself, know who you are, know your strength, know your weaknesses. If you do not know yourself, how can you know who to marry? You should be able to know yourself before you to know who to marry. Now, marriage is a word of bringing two things together and then joining them together, just like a rainbow. Rainbow is an overlapping colors of different, is overlapping colors from different colors, well fitted in together. Look at this, for instance. This is a cover, this is the biro, and you put it, it fits in. So if you do not know yourself, how will you know where to fit in? So marriage is not just any man. You should be able to know yourself, because the Bible says that it is not good for a man to be alone. I will make a helpmate. You are actually going to help somebody. So if you don't know yourself, how will you be able to know who to help? Your ability to help and your capability to help. So it's not just about going in there, having sex and producing children. No, it's a life of fulfillment. So it's like, look at this thing, for instance. Now, for me now, trying to force this thing in now, it cannot fit in. Many have actually entered into marriage and trying to fuse in things that cannot be fused in, and it's disjointed, it's not working out, and then you now say it's not working. No, it's designed to work. When you know yourself, it helps you to know what you can handle and what you cannot handle. And there is no crime to say, sorry, I cannot handle that. And then you wish somebody else. Now, for instance, now, there is a lady in the secret book of the Bible called Ruth. When it was time for Ruth to remarry, and the Bible said there is a near kinsman. And the near kinsman said, no, I cannot marry Ruth. That's fine. He knows what he cannot handle. And so there is no problem. And somebody else came aboard and married Ruth. So don't just say any man marry you. No. But let me also warn you, knowing yourself will also help you not to waste your time dating any kind of a person. Do you understand? And so people, they are season of marriageable age. Ladies, ladies' age is calendar age. By the time the lady begin to move from 28, 29, 30, 32, somehow palpitation, desperation, agitation begin to step in gradually. So don't let anybody waste your marriageable years in the name of dating or courtship. That's another thing you need to know. So anybody that wants to marry you and then you are happy to marry, what is dating? Dating simply means acquaintances. We come together to know ourselves, to know whether we can fit in on thereabout or not fit in. So yeah, it shouldn't last more than 2 months, 3 months or thereabout. And then that should enter into courtship. But some people, it baffles me when somebody called and said, I've been with a guy for 7 years. Excuse me? I've been with a guy for 8 years. I've been with a guy for 10 years. Excuse me. Can somebody wake me up? You are with a guy for 8 years, for 10 years. Those 10 years of being with a guy, you will have finished 2 courses in university. I mean, you enroll for maybe accounting and then finish 5 years. You go again and enroll for another course, not masters. And you are still dating one guy. Somebody should need to wake me up. Don't let any guy waste your time. Your marriageable age years, which is restricted by calendar. And let me tell you something here. Let me just lend you this information. Men are not calendar age restricted. I hope you know that. Men, so don't tag along with any man that is going nowhere. It is one thing you should need to know, that it's good to befriend a guy. It's good to befriend a man. Whenever any man comes into your life, you say no problem, but where are we going? Don't let it pass a month or 2. Where are we going? Where is this relationship leading to? If it's leading to, I just want to be friends, it's okay. Then keep that person at arm's length. Otherwise, people seeing you along with that particular guy will believe that you are dating, you are courting, and then they will just, every interest about marriage they have in you will disappear. They will look for elsewhere. And I'm telling you, reality, it happened. And somebody was just hanging around a lady unnecessarily, and people felt that they were going out, they were courting, And so, though I'm a guy, a medical doctor who was particularly interested with a particular lady, and was like, I thought they were in courtship. Because the guy is always hanging around the lady, is always possessive about the lady, and yet nothing serious was happening. Don't allow that. Like I said, a man is not restricted by calendar age. At 40, 50, a guy will stand up somewhere, go out there, marry a young lady about 30 years or thereabout. And that cannot easily happen for a lady. So that is why I say understand your season. Number one, know yourself. Know what you can handle and what you cannot handle. Don't let anybody waste your precious time, your manageable age period, by friendship and then imposing himself all over you, dotting himself all over you, and then yet it's starting from nowhere and going nowhere. So know yourself, know what you can handle, know what you can handle in a man, and know what you cannot handle. So at the outset, at the early stage, let things be properly defined with anybody that comes your way. Anybody that comes your way and then is seriously going to lead into the marriage, you dated 2-3 months, okay, fine. After that, enter into courtship. Listen, I don't encourage dating, courtship, anything to go beyond 18 months. So if it's going to go beyond that, then the person is not ready. Let the person go and sort himself out. Let nobody waste your precious time. It's okay. Let me quickly move on to number 3 or 4 thing I want you to know here today is, ladies, I want you to know this. Sex cannot tie a man down. You cannot detain a man. You cannot retain a man by offering him sex. They will tell you, if you love me, prove it. Even when you are in love with a man, naturally, your body will crave for sex as a lady or as a man. But look, one thing good you will do for yourself is not to yield to sex. Because once you yield yourself to sex, I pity you. Let me put it this way. Men are hunters. They are good hunters. We men are hunters. When we see a game we love, we go after that game. Like a hunter goes for an antelope or a grass cutter. And so, whenever man catches that animal, he has won. He brings it back home and drops it for the family. Whenever a man takes you to bed and sleep with you like a game, he has hunted you down. And what happens? He may be tolerating you, looking for a way to escape from your den and go for somebody else. As long as the man has sex with you, he has gotten aim achieved. Okay, let me just also tell you as a marriage, one thing, though this is outside of the syllabus of today. One thing ladies, women don't know is that for a man, marriage ended on a wedding day. The day they will say, will you do? You say, I will do. You go for reception, you dance, hello. For that man, marriage has ended. Unfortunately for the woman, marriage is just starting. So I put it this way, one person is matriculating, that is the lady, but unfortunately the man is you are wearing gowns. For the lady, it is matriculation gown. But for the man, it is what? Convocation gown. Please hear me out. So whenever any man has sex with you, you have conferred on him convocation gown. Any other day, week, month he stays with you is only counting time. How to escape you. How to escape from your den. So you think that is why you see ladies, after all I have done. After all I have done, is this what you wanted to pay me? Excuse me, I want to ask you, what did you do? Did you buy a Rolls Royce? You didn't buy a Rolls Royce. You didn't build a duplex. You gave her your body. And this is ultimately what ladies have. And once they give it to you, they felt they have given you something very precious. But listen to me, men are not emotionally attached to sex. It's just like when you are hungry, you satisfy yourself. You don't even know the name of the canteen or the recipe, you don't even care. You just satisfy yourself, you are worked on. I'm sorry, I'm revealing the secret of men to you. But it's not any. I just want you to know that you cannot tie a man down. All the issue of coming to counselors like us and say, oh, that person broke my heart, unfortunately. I'm sorry. After, whenever you hear it, they say, after all I've done, go and investigate. She didn't buy Rolls Royce. She didn't buy Bentley. You didn't do anything than offer him your body. So I just want you to know that you can't tie a man down with your sex. I have a lady, case study. Let me call her Ada for the purpose of this presentation. Yes, there was this guy in her icon class who asked her out, which is good, and she agreed. They were, as it were, dating, and somewhere along the line, the guy now began to make advances. Okay, we are dating now. What next? Let's go to the bed. I was like, why should you go to the bed? We are not married. The guy was surprised. Why are you telling me we cannot go to the bed after all we are dating? To cut the long story short, Ada said no to sex before marriage. And the guy became embittered and said, who do you think you are? I have slept with this, I have slept with that, do you think you are bigger than them? He said, okay, you have slept with this, with that. So you now want me to be among the victims? They parted ways. That's what they parted ways. But guess what? This is a life story. After 2 years or thereabout, the guy came back and said, who are you, by the way? Say, you are the only lady who refused me sex. That guy ended up marrying Ada. Do you know why? He respected Ada for not freely throwing herself up. But I know when a lady is in love, it's difficult. But I just want to lend my voice and my advice. Do not say you are not aware. Sex cannot tie a man down. What sex means to you is not what sex means to man. Sex means emotional attachment to a lady. A lady is emotionally attached whenever she had a sex with a person. But I'm telling you here, not so with a man. A man has sex with you is just like going to the nearest restaurant to eat a breakfast or a lunch. I'm telling you, he will not remember many things about the restaurant. He has gone. If he's hungry again along the line, he will enter the next restaurant. That is just what it is. So, number four is what attracts men do not retain men. All right, it's important you know this. What attracts men do not retain men. Initially, what attracts men to you is your beauty and your vitals. Did you get that? Your beauty and your vital is what attracts. So you call it now spec. So whenever they see your beauty, some people prefer plumpy ladies, some prefer tall, some prefer chocolate, some prefer dark, some prefer yellow color or whatever. That is just spec. And this is why you see when people are having affairs outside, you begin to wonder, even the lady is not as beautiful as his wife. I'm just telling you that what attracts a man to you will not keep a man. So what do? You need to know the difference between attraction and attachment. So what to do is, when you attract a man, what do? You also get the man attached to yourself. How do you get a man attached to yourself? That is the next number 5 or number 6. Develop your content, personal content, life content. Develop your character, develop value. Keep adding value to yourself. Keep developing your content, your character. And I know a man, life story. I know a man. The man cannot guarantee. No, whenever the man stays in the midst of his friends, the man always boasts and brags. He said, of all of us here, I am the only man who met my wife as a virgin. It's always point of bragging for the man. But listen, the man cannot boast of himself being a virgin. The man did not boast that he has stayed faithful to the man, no, to his wife. No, he cannot. But he's always boasting. He prides himself. What am I trying to say? That character of fidelity from his wife is what he boasts about whenever. So, like I said, your beauty may attract, but listen to me, it is your character, number one, and your values that retains the man. So what do? I need to give you this before I leave this thing. Value is dynamic. Please. Note it very well. Value is dynamic. What do I mean by value is dynamic? The value you brought into marriage the first 3 years will not sustain your marriage after 5 years. Because the value you are bringing is more about erotic, romantic, and other small values. As time goes on, the man's investment and business, building project and life project, children, all these things. So your ability to make the man succeed in the workplace will count more for him. Even when he is tempted or angered or something happened that naturally he will vent his anger and kick you away, when the man remembers how supportive you are, when the man remembers the value you are bringing to his life, to his business, to his future, he will think twice. He will think twice before he takes any rash action. So what does that mean? Keep adding value to your life, to yourself. Don't just settle down. Don't settle down. Don't just settle down. Okay. Now, the next thing I want you to know, number 6, is that, look, please I beg you, do not move from the dependency stage of your life to your interdependency stage of your life. Do not move from depending upon your parents. You live in your family house. Your mom and your dad take care of you. They pay your rent. They pay your school fees. They pay your feeding allowances. They buy clothes for you. They buy you pampers. They buy you pad. They buy you bra. They buy you pant. They buy you everything. You depended on pocket money. You depend upon they give you transport money. Everything you need psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, they cover you with their prayers. Financially, you depend upon. From there, you get married. So you now move from depending upon your marriage for sustenance. You now move to your depending upon your husband for sustenance. I'm sorry, you are not prepared for life. And many who have gone through that route are regretting. From dependency stage, you must graduate to independent stage, where emotionally you are independent. What does that mean? You dress up, look yourself in the mirror, you say, this babe is hot. Irrespective of who says that to you outside or not, you learn to appreciate yourself, you learn to accept yourself. You move from dependency stage to independent stage, where you take an Uber, you call an Uber and you pay. It's not your guy, we are dating. Okay, meet us in this restaurant or this eatery. When you get there, guy, I'm around. The guy comes out, brings out his wallet and pay. I'm sorry. You should be able to pay. If you are at a table and then a misunderstanding happens and the guy stands up and walks away, you call the waiter and say, excuse me, how much is the bill? You pay. That stage you are financially independent. All right, like I said in my earlier production, what we pray for, what we do not pray for happen. Nobody pray for bad marriage. Nobody pray for divorce. Nobody for crisis marriage. But what we do not pray for happen. The worst case scenario I keep repeating is that if what we don't pray, if life happens like the way we say it, you already know how to live, survive at the independent stage. You enter your car, start it, fuel your car, service your car, go to office, earn your money, pay your house rent. All right, if that guy is dumb enough to leave you, I'm telling you, somebody else will be lucky enough to have you. All right, but I don't pray for the worst to happen. But all I'm trying to say is that guys respect those who can fend for themselves, because they know that if I kick you out, you are not out. You know how to provide shelter over your head. You know, you will only miss whatever. All right, okay, but I also wish you well. Number 7, prepare and equip yourself for where you are going. Yes, it's important. The challenge we have also in life is that, for instance, we just have new set of people in power, in government, state of assemblies, in states and level. You have senators, new senators. You have new House of Rep members. You are still going to have new DGs. You are going to have PAs of a governor, of the president, of a senate. You're going to have them. But listen to me. In life, for men, when status changes, they also look for somebody who will match them at that their new level. Did you get that? For instance, now, you want your husband to be a senator. Are you prepared? Are you equipped psychologically, intellectually, emotionally? Are you equipped to be a senator's wife? You want your husband to be a senior pastor. You want your husband to be, what do you call it now? An influencer, a famous personality. Now, are you prepared to stand, to handle the challenges that come with that new position? So that's why I mean, prepare yourself for where you are going. All right. My producer is telling me my time is running out. I want to also let you know, invest in your life continuously. That's number 8. Continuously keep investing in your life. Don't let childbearing stage of your marriage. Okay, this is the childbearing. You have the first baby, the second baby, the third baby, and then you throw caution to wind. You gather weight, you gather fat, and then things like that. No, keep investing emotionally. If you were an accountant, or if you're an accountant, after all your childbearing and grooming them, that spans about 10 years, go back and dust up your accounting profession and pick it up from there and keep upgrading yourself socially, psychologically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Keep upgrading yourself. Don't lose your guard. It is to your own advantage. This is what will keep you going in your husband's. And number 9, marry somebody. Ladies, when your season comes and all men are coming, marry somebody prayerfully that will give you wings to fly. What do we have today? We have people who got married and then their husbands clip their wings. Some people who were singers can't sing again. Some people who were bloggers, who were thriving on social media, suddenly they disappear from radar. Somebody who was influential in the office, suddenly what happens? My husband. You marry somebody who probably is insecure and is threatened not only by your today but by your future, and they come up with rules and regulations and say, in my father's house, in my town, in my village, this one and that one, and all in the process of clipping your wings. But hear me out today. I am not asking you to marry somebody who will not clip your wings. I am saying you should marry somebody who will give you wings, who will help you to spread your wings, who will help you to become who you are designed to be. A man who is secured, a man who has strong personality, a man who is not intimidated by your achievement, a man who is happy to tell the whole world that the next Okonjo Iweala standing there is my wife, who is proud to look at you out there and say, that is my wife at the global stage. Don't be agitated, desperate. Hey, my time is going. Nothing is as bad as marrying a wrong spouse. Nothing is as bad. It is life imprisonment with hard labor. And no pastor will ask you to leave except when life is being threatened. They will tell you, just pray, keep praying. Something will happen somewhere. But I don't wish you that. So marry somebody. How do you know? You should know. Seek counsel. Last but not the least, my time is effectively up today. Listen to me. The biggest legacy you will leave behind for generations unborn, your children yet to be born, the biggest legacy you can leave behind is a good marriage. Children